Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. It's really great to have some time to connect with you again. Today we're going to switch somewhat and talk about service. So, service really gives us purpose. It gives us meaning beyond just getting up and going through the motions. Purpose and meaning are very highly correlated with well-being and perceived level of happiness and fulfillment in life. So to talk about service, I'll go backwards and nerd out a little bit about a little bit of theoretical stuff, but nothing too heavy. Don't worry, it's already Wednesday. C.S. Lewis, depending on what you know about C.S. Lewis, he was a British writer. And I think a very brilliant mind. He had a way of looking at things that was just different than any minds that I connect with on a regular basis. So he was born into a Christian family. At 15, he became an atheist. He says he converted to atheism. And one of the things that he's been known to say, keep in mind he was born in 1898. But he was angry at God for not existing. It sounds like there was some sort of being, if he could be angry at it for not existing, but that's neither here nor there. It just kind of gives you a little insight into what his 15-year-old mind was like. So in his late 20s, early 30s, enough folks had convinced him that there was something bigger than us, and so he converted to theism and then eventually back to Christianity. He did live through 2 world wars, and those times absolutely influenced him and changed the way he looked at several things in his life. So in the book Mere Christianity, he talks about basic laws of human nature. The basic law of human nature, honestly, is just decency. That we all have this responsibility to each other to be decent. It's not rocket science, but it's not something that I guess I ever really thought about. So human decency to me would mean that we care for each other, we're forthright with each other, and also that we have a mutual respect and willingness and desire to help each other. I think about those videos that you see on the news or on TikTok, social media, where it shows somebody in distress, a mom with a child going down a railroad track or something, and then you see a group of people standing and watching. We do have the I can't stop watching this, what's going to happen to the baby and mom moment. But more often than not, we focus on the fact that nobody's helping, if that's the case in the video. And I think that goes back to that core law of just human decency, that we are decent to each other and we help each other out. So I want you to think about what kind of service you are in the business of in your life. When you're walking to class, you see a gum wrapper. Do you leave it there? Do you pick it up? Are you the one that put it there? Where are you on the spectrum of service? A gum wrapper is a small thing to consider. But if we all tossed our gum wrappers, it would be a gross place to live. If we never tossed them, they wouldn't be there to pick up. Sometimes the wind blows them. So I'm going to assume when I see a gum wrapper that the wind blew it out of someone's hand, and I'm going to pick it up because it was an accident. Simple little thing. There are much bigger things too. I'm sure across the campus right now, there's so many opportunities for service. Usually I'm thinking about some volunteer activities. What does volunteering do? Of course, it's a service. It's a pretty formalized kind of service for us. It gives us meaning. It gives purpose. It helps others, whether it be at an animal shelter or a cleanup in the community or helping other humans. Volunteering scientifically according to research, decreases stress. It also improves our mood. It reduces depressive thoughts, depressive behaviors. I think I know I'm guilty of this. I've signed up for volunteer opportunities, and it's 6:30, and it's a Saturday morning, and I'm like, why did I do this? Why did I sign up? Maybe I won't go. Do I have an excuse? No. Okay, I'm gonna go. And I like get my coffee and get in the car and get pouty about it. And then when I get there, I'm 20 minutes in and I'm so glad. Those feelings are gone. Like, shake the bed off your back, just get it done. And then you'll feel so much better. So there is a dopamine change when we volunteer and when we do service. Of course, it is proportional to the amount of time we spend doing those things and the significance that we make of it. I hope that all of you will hear this and think through your service. The biggest service commitment that I can remember that I've taken on in a volunteer capacity was sponsored through my work, and I had the opportunity to go do these 12-hour shifts. They were daytime shifts in a hurricane shelter after Hurricane Florence in eastern North Carolina. I walked in, and those folks had been living there a week with no laundry, no real connection. They couldn't go back to their homes if their homes still existed. There were folks there that their tent community under a bypass on the interstate was washed out. You can't really go to FEMA and ask for a new tent. These folks had nothing. It was the hardest week of my life from a service perspective. And I was there in the capacity of being a mental health professional to talk to these folks, to do triage, to make sure we dealt with anger issues, depression, suicide. I'm not making this about me. I'm saying those are some significant moments to be sitting in a shelter and serving. I recognize the privilege I had that I wasn't the one in the shelter who'd lost everything. I had clean clothes. I had food. I had my pets waiting when I went home. The biggest thing I did the entire time I was there was work with the other folks that were there with me to gather their clothes in giant garbage bags, get them all labeled, take them to a laundromat that had functional power and water, and wash an entire shelter's clothes. It's all they had. A lot of them, it's truly all they had left of their life from before. Washed those clothes, got them back in. It took 8-9 hours, just constant in a laundromat. We folded them. At a PhD, I was not there to wash clothes. And nothing I did there was more meaningful than that. It's not about your training. It's not about getting a big way to go. Now I've got a scholarship to grad school and I got a t-shirt from my, community pickup. Those things are great. I'm sure they help with the dopamine. But at the end of the day, it's taking care of each other. And that basic law of human nature that we need to just be decent. Happy Wellness Wednesday. Go pick up those gum wrappers. Give somebody a hug. If somebody comes to you with something stressful, ask, how can I help you? How can I best support you through this? They're probably going to tell you, just listen. You already did it. Have a great week, everyone, in service and in community.